Welcome to Rulebooks Anonymous.
You'll be the first person to attack someone or try to screw
Yeah, because this is a game.
I don't like it that you have 7 cards.
Yeah.
You can only have 5.
He wanted you to pay it up.
That's right.
For us to give a price would be insanity.
I was running around like a hero with my fire extinguisher.
Putting out all sorts of fires, literal and non-literal. In this game, Manda went screaming up the mountain.
We ended up winning, didn't we?
Rulebooks Anonymous.
Okay, that was a fail. Okay, welcome to Rulebooks Anonymous, ladies and gentlemen.
Ow.
That was our attempt at beloved Hanna-Barbera character Muttley's laugh, and it just did not work.
I think I popped a hernia out or something on that one.
Do you think the baby didn't like it?
I don't think so.
The baby's angry. He's like, don't do this to me.
He's like, I hate you, Mom, already, and I'm only in the womb now.
Oh, yeah, just imagine when they hear the jokes and everything outside the womb.
Oh, man.
All right. So, anyways, welcome to the show. You know the shtick by now. Board games, card games, video games, mind games? No.
No, none of those.
We don't like
do
those.
Those are
We
not
don't.
fun. Unless it's a game.
Is there a mind games the game?
Yeah,
There is a mind. The Mind? I think it's called The Mind. And we'll talk about that at some point.
Okay. Well, and kind of tying with that, we are now on minds.com, which is kind of like Facebook, but not.
It's mind games.
Yeah.
Nice tie-in, Dennis.
Yes.
That was a good one.
That was totally unintentional, too. And
I
at
like
some point, we also might be on BitChute. So that's kind of like YouTube, but not.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know what that is.
That's the one that's like not being censored and all the heck.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
I'm an old person. I don't know what these things are.
Well, with all the tech censorship going on, there's the chance that Facebook, YouTube could go down. So we are branching out and trying to corner the market.
Yeah, it's oldies and are relying on Facebook. I'm MySpace years old.
That's an old saying. Yeah, I was checking on MySpace for something to rent at Blockbuster.
Does that mean I have to say that I'm AOL chat rooms years old?
wow.
Yep, I'm that old too, actually.
Well, for our younger viewers, you do not know the pain of dial-up internet, where you had to wait for 5 minutes, where it sounds like a robot's being murdered before you actually get connected to
Or
the
not
internet.
being able to use the internet because your parents have to use the phone.
I'm on a phone!
Oh, that's right. You couldn't use the phone.
Or when you're downloading whatever you're downloading and someone picks up the phone, put it back!
Trying to get Metallica off of Napster before they shut it down.
LimeWire, Napster.
LimeWire.
What's the other one?
BearShare.
Kazaa.
Yeah. All of these were terrible for your computer, by the way. They gave you
Yep.
so
I
many
probably
viruses.
had so many viruses on my family computer.
Downloading, of course, family-friendly content only.
Yeah. Oh, here's what
Green Day.
Okay, wait, here we
Is
go.
that family-friendly?
Yeah, it depends on which album.
True.
No. You board game, and it's the peer-to-peer sharing ones like Napster the game or something, and you have to figure out which one doesn't have the virus.
It's a hidden movement game.
Yes.
The virus moves.
Yes.
These are all terrible, terrible ideas.
I think we got a winner there.
That's a subject for another show.
I
All
did
this-
it again. I said I'm an ummer, guys. I'm going to call it out. I'm now playing the metagame where I call out my own ums.
One of these days we're gonna have a drinking game, and every time James says he's gonna.
My God, you
Take a
guys are gonna make it so hard to edit this, but that's a problem for future Dennis.
That is a future Dennis problem. But what we're going to talk about, based on our super awesome attempt at all doing Muttley's voice. Man, he's not a smoker.
You sound like a smoker out of breath.
My name is Lawanda. I don't know. I couldn't come up with like a Doris. I'm Doris.
Doris. Hello there, sweetheart.
With her neck hole cigarette.
Oof.
Trachea.
Tracheotomy, man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we're
But,
in trouble for that one. Look up Dennis Leary's bit on that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We're going to talk about Wacky Races. And I don't know about our audience, but even though it was a cartoon from the 1960s, I watched it growing up. It was always on.
Was it on USA's Cartoon Express?
It may have been. I remember seeing it on the Cartoon Network, but I also remember Saturday morning cartoons on ABC. They showed it periodically.
Okay.
They would sneak it in like either before or after the Looney Tunes.
Oh yeah, because it was usually like an hour of Looney Tunes is what they ended with.
Yep.
I know I watched a lot of the things like Yogi Bear and all that on
the
Cartoon
old
Network.
Hanna-Barberas. Yeah.
Boomerang is still a thing.
Yeah, and I think Boomerang shows it as well.
Boomerang's become stagnant, unfortunately. They don't.
Well.
They could migrate some cartoons to Boomerang as they age into the
Yeah, because
realm.
they've gotten to the classic point. I mean, even you could include like Dexter's Lab and all that. I would argue is classic.
Are those
at this point.
Hanna-Barbera?
No.
That's Cartoon Network.
Okay, I was
So-
like, whoa, I didn't really.
Well, Boomerang does more than just Hanna-Barbera, doesn't it?
That's basically what it has. It's got a lot of like old school Scooby-Doo and.
But I thought it had more than that.
I thought
Maybe I'm
like-
mistaken.
is Flintstones Hanna-Barbera?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Wow, he did a lot.
And fun fact, Hanna-Barbera was acquired by DC Comics recently.
What?
Within the last few years. Yeah.
I did not know that.
They have redone a lot of the things like Johnny Quest, the Flintstones. They've they've done really good with Space Ghost, and they've kind of like tied it all into some kind of multiverse. Yeah. Zorak lost count.
Love that show.
Yeah. How'd you get this show? Garrett Top turned them down.
Oh my god.
I watched that on Adult Swim.
I loved that show. But yeah, I mean DC's done some good stuff with their properties, and then some weird things with like Scooby-Doo in like this post-apocalyptic zombie-infested world where like
weird.
Shaggy's fully embraced a hipster kind of thing.
So you're
Velma's a
saying
hacker.
he's just high all the time.
Oh, pretty much.
But
They
he's-
didn't
like-
try to hide what the smoke in the van was.
I have not had a chance to read it, but yeah,
Well, if
Scooby's
it's-
also got like a robot eye.
If it's post-apocalyptic, he's not doing the Mary Janes anymore. He's moved on to, as Bender used in the Futurama, zapping himself. He's jacking in.
Are you jacking on there? Hey, that's closer.
Careful,
Hey,
careful.
Hey, that's like right there on the edge where we can get away with that joke.
Careful. Anyway.
We've already been demonetized. Wait a minute, we don't make money off this. You can't demonetize us. Ha ha.
We're volunteer podcast
We
host.
volunteers.
As we stray from our original subject.
Oh my god,
matter.
we're just going crazy. Wacky Racers, though.
Yes.
That's what we're going to talk about. We played it. It's a good game.
Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Wacky Races, this is just bizarre characters from all walks of life that are racing. And it's not, I don't know, it's not like like a season long is one race. It's like multiple races throughout their seasons.
Yeah, I think they did cliffhangers, as I recall.
A couple of them,
Between a couple
but they did have
episodes.
like one episode was one race, and it's
Yeah.
like a new person winning each time. So it's not just like, oh, this person always wins. Sometimes it's the villains, sometimes it's the heroes.
So, Wacky Racers is a game for 2 to 6 players.
Yes.
Stages 8 and up. They say the playtime is between 10 and 15 minutes. However, I feel like we went closer to half an hour. Maybe 40 minutes. I mean, we had kids and stuff running around and stuff like that, but generally speaking, I think that's maybe a little bit shorter than it typically would be. Like, I
Yeah.
think it would be closer to 20 minutes on average.
I would think so.
But anyway, those albums, man, they're going to get me all day.
It's a little behind the scenes thing, folks. I revealed some of the stuff that I edited out, so you may not be hearing it, but I'm going to leave the commentary in anyway.
I hope you do.
Yeah,
He's gonna take all
there
them.
are certain sound effects, and I'm sure that you can realize what they are just from your own dialogues that you have with people.
It's crazy because when I have a normal conversation with people, I can totally just remove them myself. Like, I don't have an issue with it, but
It's probably because you hear yourself in the headphones.
it could be.
Yeah.
And I have to, like, concentrate on what I'm actually saying.
Yes.
But anyway, the game was designed by, I'm going to screw this name up, Andre Chiriavasio.
That sounds good.
I'm going to go with that. And Fabio Tola. Players, I'm going to do it again. Players take control of the iconic racers from the 1960s cartoons such as the Slag Brothers, Penelope Pitstop, the Gruesome Twosome, as they compete against Dick Dastardly and Muttley. The game is played over a series of rounds where players using a hand of cards will select a similar color and the colors relate to the landscapes. There's desert, plains.
Plains, farmland.
Yep, farmland, and there's one other
Forest?
one. It might be forest.
Did we say
yeah.
forest?
I think it's forest.
Okay. So yeah, and what is you have to match the color of the one that you're on in order to advance.
Yeah. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna play the card out of your hand. It has to match the space that you're on. It'll allow you to move one additional space, and then on the next space, if you have a matching color, you can play another card up to the 3 cards that you have in your hand until they're exhausted.
At the very least, you're moving one space, because if you don't have a matching color, you can burn a card.
You burn a
just
card to move
up
one. Yep, and there's some strategy to that, because you can pay attention to, well, if I burn this one, the next card is going to be, say, desert, and I have a desert card. So then you can keep that and play it, and so you'll still be able to move again. But you keep doing that until all your cards are exhausted. Sometimes you can get more than 3 cards in your hand.
That's where player powers come in, which varies depending on what you're playing as.
And after each player move, Dick Dastardly will move up to whichever color is face up on the discard deck. If he ever moves into first place, he sets a trap. And the trap will be sprung if a card lands on it, whether it's the players or the dummy players. And
dummy players are NPCs, basically.
Basically, non-player characters.
So is that dependent upon how many actual players you have, or even if you have like 6 players, do you automatically have those dummy players?
No, you will just always have up to, I believe it's 6 players, regardless of how many actual players.
Okay, so we had
you had 4 of us.
There was 2 dummy players.
4 of us, so there's 2
4
dummy players. So if we had 2 more people, there would not be any dummy players.
Yeah. That's when we had my wife. You know what? We forgot to introduce ourselves.
We didn't even talk about ourselves. Who are we?
Because we're not conceited. We know.
You guys know who we are.
Okay, yeah. James, Amanda, Dennis, boom. We're good.
Boom. Okay. Moving on.
I'm Amanda. If you
are you sure?
Catch that. Yeah.
All right. Well, are you sure?
Just thought I'd help everyone know.
I keep looking above your head for like your name, like in those RPGs. It just doesn't happen.
If a card lands on a trap card, it'll get sprung, and the effect is applied to either the individual card or to all the cards. And finally, each of the players, as Dennis kind of alluded to earlier, has 4 special cards that allow them to kind of break the rules of the game, either by impacting other players. Like Manda, Penelope, Pitstop, you had a move where you could move, basically swap with a player two spaces away, right?
Yeah, which really helped me at the end. I mean, it didn't help me enough.
It
to
ruined
win,
my day a little bit.
But
so
yeah,
thanks for that.
I ruined James' day.
James's day.
Some of the other special cards can negate traps. It can help you get more cards, and ultimately, first player to cross the finish line wins. And in this, I see him. He's jumping at the bit. He's like, I did it. It was me.
I finally succeeded. Well, I held on to my special power because I was the ant. I was the mobsters. I can't remember their names off the top of my head. But these guys had an ability that let me pull 2 of the discard cards, any 2 discard cards out of the discard pile to use as I see fit. So it was, I think I was on 2 spaces away from the finish line, and there were 2 traps thanks to Dastardly and Muttley. And then as soon as I landed on those, I sprung the traps, I got knocked back a couple of spaces, and Lisa was right on my tail.
We thought Lisa was going to win.
We
Oh,
did.
yeah. I totally thought, I was like, oh, man, I sprung those traps, and I just opened the way for her. She could only move 1 space. It's like, I have a shot. And so I used the power, and then that's when I was able to cross the finish line.
So just for everyone's knowledge, the characters included are Penelope Pitstop, who Amanda played. The Slag Brothers, I believe Lisa played, correct?
I think so.
The Gruesome Twosome, who I played. Didn't I? I think I was the Gruesome Twosome. Yeah, I was.
Those are the ones with the dragon in the car.
They have a
right?
dragon in the house in the back of the car.
That's all so ridiculous.
There's Rufus Roughcat and Sawtooth. There is Sergeant Blast and Private Meekly, Lazy Luke and Blubber Bear, Professor Pat Pending, and then the Anthill Mob is the one that you played.
That's what it was.
Yep,
Okay.
because they're all really short.
Hey, that works.
Red Max, Peter Perfect, and then obviously Dick Dastardly and Muttley.
Yeah. So look it up on Boomerang if you're curious as to how these characters look. And
I'm sure
it
you
was a pretty good
recognize
cartoon.
them.
Yeah, I guarantee that anyone who is at least around the age of 30 has seen them in something.
I think at the very least they'll recognize Dastardly and Muttley.
You know what's funny is I actually, even though I kind of knew them all just because I watched the cartoon, the ones that I'll call most iconic to me were the Slag Brothers, actually. I always remembered them fighting and beating each other up with the clubs.
Well, that's because they look like another Hanna-Barbera character, Captain Caveman.
Yep.
So, I mean, they've got a little bit of the cross-pollination thing going there.
Sure. But
they were such a funny group.
It'd be cool if they could come out with an expansion with more characters.
well, I think
this might be all of them.
I think that's
though.
the whole universe, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Well, if they tie in, because I think Scooby-Doo at one point, one of the terrible movies, it was like the second Red Shirt Shaggy movie where Dracula is trying to throw his own funny car race, and so he's got all the monsters. The werewolf drops out, turns Shaggy into a werewolf for some reason to make him be in the race, and so Scooby and Scrappy, I think it was, and Shaggy's girlfriend Googie. Yeah.
Your
trying to
memory is
save
just
him.
really impressive right
I don't
now.
remember that.
Yeah. This was.
I vaguely remember the movie, but the fact that you remember names is just, I mean...
I'm sorry, the name Googie just really stood out
That
to
one
me.
stands out.
But yeah, I mean, you could even tie into that because you have all the different monsters.
God, that'd be
and-
so cool to have the Mystery Machine.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Johnny Quest. Throw Johnny Quest in there. Have the
my-
Quest-mobile or the
just
Quest
throw in
Cycles.
all of Hanna-Barbera, basically.
Oh, Blue Falcon and Dynamite.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Can we...
the Herculoids. You know what? We'll tag these guys on Twitter and just say, listen, we have ideas.
You guys come talk to us. We'll
We
help
have
you
lots
out.
of ideas.
We have lots of ideas. Credit Rulebooks. And we don't need your money. Just credit us.
Come on, Simon.
Yeah.
Come on. Just do it. Do it. Just do it.
They could,
I mean-
they could
all
add
of them
another
there.
terrain in there to expand the board.
They could.
Different traps. I mean, there's lots of room to build upon what they've got.
I like it. And I the miniatures is something I really wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
These
Solid.
miniatures are great.
They
They're
are
heavy.
solid.
They're chunky.
Even
I
though
let my
they're-
daughter play with them because I'm not really afraid of her breaking them.
Because you get some of those miniatures.
Some,
and
are
they're just, like,
relatively
flimsy.
fragile, and you're afraid they're going to snap an arm
Like
off.
if they have a sword or something, it's like gonna bend.
Oh, yeah.
But generally speaking, these are just solid miniatures, and they're fun to hold.
there was
They'd
that
be kind of
one
fun to
that-
paint.
Wow. Yeah, you could.
There was that one that Amanda kept fixating on.
Which one? Oh.
Which one?
It was shaped in a particular manner.
She was being
Oh.
inappropriate. Inappropriate panda.
You guys, I have like the mind of a 12-year-old boy. It's bad. Just the things.
Well, it's even
Obviously,
worse.
I talk about poop all the time.
It's even worse now that you have free time, since as of the time of this recording, we are a week out from the last day of school. It's been somewhat nice. It's been mostly quiet at work.
I still went to work 3 days last week.
So the other thing that we didn't do in this game, though, and we can do this sometime, is apparently they have a championship mode
Ooh.
where you do multiple different tracks and earn points as you go along based on who wins.
So is this like multiple playthroughs or?
Yeah,
Okay.
you play it multiple times, and it's think of it like NASCAR
I think
in terms of you play there's multiple races and you earn points based on your placing.
Okay.
we were talking about the timing in this game earlier when I stepped out for a second.
They didn't know that.
Well,
Now they know. Now you
I did.
told
I
them.
stepped out for a second.
You pulled the curtain back and ruined the mystery.
Peeled too much of that onion.
I mean, I was too quiet for me to not be gone for.
Okay, that's fair.
Are you saying you're a loudmouth?
I am. I own it. But I think that I just did it. I think that it's actually
That's a quarter in the jar,
I
please.
can see it being a fairly quick game. Now that we've played through it already,
That
I
is
think
fair.
we could actually get through this game in maybe 20, if
Well, and that's
not
what I was
less.
saying. I think realistically 20 minutes is probably more likely than 15 or 10. If you're speed running it with two people, maybe you could swing 10 minutes, but
Well, and you've also got the element that we were still learning the rules a little bit.
Exactly.
Well, that's fair. And that's why I said 20 minutes is probably more likely than the 30
yeah.
to 40 that we spent playing it. But again, that's with kids running around and things like that, so...
Yeah, my son jumping on the trampoline.
We have a trampoline in
the
our front
kids
room.
fighting about the trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
I need to move that into the backyard. It needs to get out of my front room.
I mean, I think it's pretty cool. We have a trampoline in our front room.
I'm glad that
Not-
you think it's pretty
Not everyone
cool.
But
can say
here's
that they
here's
have
the
one.
thing. Here's the thing. You take the trampoline out, and then James can get a bigger gaming table
Mm-hmm.
with the built-in fog machine.
Just our whole front room area could just be a giant
Can it?
game table.
Gaming dungeon.
Oh, okay. So like,
So I can put my tapestries up.
so like the first section looks like a chessboard. No.
We could, like Harry Potter.
Yes.
As
It
you
could
walk
just be
in,
a
you have
really
to play
long
chess to get
table.
into the house.
You have to play chess to get to the kitchen if you want to eat.
So is it a live action chessboard?
Yeah, we're gonna rent people. We're gonna rent people to stand in our front room.
I don't know if that flies nowadays. Renting.
You can
people.
renting people is perfectly fine. Owning people is not. We're gonna
Definitely
rent
not.
people, and put them in our front room, so people have to play chess with them on a live action chessboard to get
But
into our
what
house.
if you really want to get into our
To get
house?
into the house.
Okay, I thought you said
They
to
they would
leave.
have to be of diminutive stature.
You saying I have a small front room?
No, I'm saying that if you want a full chessboard, they're going to need to be of diminutive stature.
I mean, I don't know.
Think you-
If they're
Never mind,
standing
I'm not gonna
shoulder
say
to
that.
shoulder, that creates a blocking mechanism, right?
Well, if they're on the individual spaces, they're creating a
Where are
blocking
we-
mechanism anyway.
Where are we gonna fit the horses for the nights?
They can get like those little wooden ones with the head on the pole. I think it'll be fine. I have total faith in this.
No, just get those horse heads on a stick for the nights.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, this is the
That doesn't sound very fun.
the McChessboard.
I want
The
to. It's
McChessboard.
real horses or no deal.
Fine, I'll get miniature horses like little Sebastian.
No. Don't go with horses. Go with like little dogs or something instead.
Greyhounds.
Yeah.
Corgis.
Yeah. Not
Corgis would be
No,
better.
greyhounds are too pointy.
No, that's what we'll get.
Okay.
We'll get corgis with monkeys on them.
Oh, okay. I'm back.
Oh, sorry, I just remembered another property that they could throw into Wacky Races. Sea Lab.
Sea Lab.
But it has to be the version from yeah.
water.
Yes, it has to be that version though. Captain Murphy.
The sea.
Oh.
That's quite possibly one of my favorite shows.
Oh.
I love Sea Lab. I actually went back and watched all of them relatively recently, like in the last year, because I love that show.
Or Harvey Birdman.
Oh God, Attorney at Law.
Yes.
I really like this game though, guys. I
This is-
really do.
This was fun. I think this was a lot easier than Downforce, honestly.
It was easier than Downforce, but it's different than Downforce.
Yes.
It has a very different
Yeah,
feel
when-
than Downforce.
Yeah, that is very true. Well, because there's that wacky element. I mean, your powers are different in
Yep.
Downforce, and
I think it's a different enough game
yeah.
that you should own both.
Okay.
That's the thing that I'm going to say definitively, because it's just a great game.
Well, and again, I think this one is good to pull out and play with the kids, or
The
like even
mechanics-
just if you want a quick game. This one is really quick.
And I think it's quite short compared to Downforce.
I mean, Downforce is pretty quick in and of
Downforce
itself.
is quick, but I think this is even quicker. This is literally like the definition of a filler game. Like if you want to play something with a little bit of meat to it in between two massive Euros, this would be a solid choice.
Like this would be a really fun game to play with Penny.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
mechanics of it are easy enough that kids should be able to pick it up with no problem.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, maybe use it as a way to help them learn how to read. I am using this as a hint for my own son. Yeah. Hey, that's
Hint.
Hey, I'm steadily getting him to understand that if he learns how to read,
He can do much more fun stuff.
exactly, he'll have a lot more fun with another game we'll talk about in an upcoming episode, or even when we're playing like Mario Party, so that sister
Oh,
doesn't
sure.
have to explain the rules to him and possibly cheat. Not that I'm accusing my daughter of cheating when she plays against her brother, but I'm accusing my daughter of occasionally cheating when she plays against her brother.
Isn't
I mean,
that
why
just
not? She's taking advantage of his weakness.
Isn't that just
That's what
implied when
siblings do.
siblings play?
I guess so, but it's so bad because when Reed loses to Lily, he gets so upset.
It's a good life lesson.
It is a good life lesson.
Very true. Very true. Yeah.
I thought you were going to make a Zoolander reference out of that.
I am so beat. Dude, I'm so beat from this week and from the last few weeks of work and moving my wife to a new office today. I'm not on top of it.
Oh, no, it's good.
He doesn't have it in him.
I thought you were going to do Derek Zoolander for the Center for the Kids Who Can't Read Good and stuff.
That was most good. What is this? A center for ants? Needs to be at least 5 times bigger. Here's Blue Steel.
Everybody
good
look at
Blue
Dennis.
Steel,
He's doing
Dennis.
Blue Steel.
I do that all the time.
Everybody take a look.
Everyone thinks it's good.
Okay, kind of a side story that has nothing to do with gaming at all. I was at the dentist, and it was this new hygienist that was cleaning my teeth and everything, and she made a comment like, "Oh, you've got such luscious lips." And I told my wife about that. Ever since then, I've been like, "Kiss me on my luscious lips," and I'll do like Blue Steel or just like pucker up right in front.
Was the dentist hitting on you?
She was...
Or the hygienist?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she was...
Did Lisa say you're not allowed to go to that dentist?
She laughed because she's like, "Oh, great, she created a monster by telling you that."
Yeah, because now you're just making lips at everybody.
Let it go. No, only her, just to mess with her. I'll wake her up in the morning. Kiss me on my luscious. Wow.
All right.
She is shaking her head right now as she's listening to me edit this.
So
in the future,
let's get a
future Lisa shaking your head.
Yes.
Let's get a final word or a final verdict on Wacky Races.
I think
only
we
one word.
Did.
No, it's a good game. How long ago did this one come out, by the way?
Oh, geez, like
last year?
No, like weeks.
Weeks.
Months?
Oh, this is a 2019 game. Holy
this is
crap.
a 2019 game.
Holy cow! I thought this came out like last year or something.
Did I miss the published year? I may have.
James went into the board game store and
I saw it and I grabbed it and
he
turned
didn't
around
even
and walked out.
He didn't even. Well, he bought it. He purchased it.
I did.
We
pay
don't
money.
endorse walking out.
Don't
without.
steal games from your
We
local
at
game
Rulebooks
shop.
Anonymous do not endorse theft.
Yeah, you might get in trouble for that one, so don't do that. So pay for it. But yeah, no, I knew this was coming and had heard of it and was interested in it, and I saw it, and sometimes I go in there and I'll stare at the games for, I don't know, 45 minutes while Amanda sits in the car with our sleeping child.
Yeah, I get to sleep. I guess sit with the sleeping child. And
Does he at least leave the car on so that you can get some air?
Nope.
No air for you.
He lives a bowl of water though.
Great, now everyone thinks I'm a terrible person.
They're going to be looking for your car. They see Amanda just like fanning herself, like scratching at the windows. I'm locked in! I'm locked in! Help me!
He put all the child locks on.
But I definitely saw this one
recommend.
and just grabbed it and walked out.
Okay.
So
After paying.
After putting forth the
And
cash.
it's just fun because it's nostalgic and there's a lot of, apparently, like James said, there's a whole championship that we could do. I want to do that now.
We should.
I'm excited.
Let's do it right now.
All right.
Sorry, no more episodes, guys.
Time for an intermission.
Bum, 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 bum. No, just kidding.
Intermission.
Intermission.
Those of you wondering what you just heard, it's because I'm cheap and I'm not going to pay for music to put into some kind of intermission. We do this on a $1 shoestring budget.
Man, we are really flying off the handle today. We're going to talk about something else now.
Yes, we're going to talk about E. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's E3.
You just elongated the E's.
They've
I like
got
how
that
James
funny
explains
little.
it for you.
They've got that funny little thing above the E so that the sound stretches out.
Oh, not the umlaut, but the
Is it the dots or is it?
I'm the teacher and I don't know.
It's the repeating. That's what it is, repeating.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We have a teacher here and we couldn't find that out.
Sorry.
Come on.
Come on,
I'm a first grade teacher.
Yeah, come on. You don't do any division
No.
with repeating decimals?
No.
That's first grade, right? They could do that.
In Japan, maybe.
Oh, okay. Dang American schools.
Not here in America, where we have
America.
6 weeks of testing every year.
Yeah, that's the problem.
SBAC,
Maybe I
ACT, STAR testing, litmus testing, you know.
We're gonna talk about E3. I'm gonna bring it back together. We are really getting crazy this episode.
He's got a lasso to rope us back in.
I am. So let's talk about. Oh man, what do we want to start
walk
with?
us in the car.
So we're back to the car.
We're stepping out of the car, and we're stepping into Luigi's Mansion 3.
Woohoo!
Oh wait,
Was that Luigi?
That was the wrong Luigi.
Mario is missing.
boom, nailed it. Oh yes.
Oh god. So yeah, E3 happened this last week.
As of this recording.
As of this recording, and
Longer for you in the future.
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks. So later, like 2 weeks after E3.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And some of the games we saw, we were going to talk about, some things that we were excited about, some unknown things to us prior. So one of the things we were going to talk about was Luigi's Mansion 3. We're going to catch some ghosts. Amanda.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of Ghostbusters, a little bit like Luigi's a Ghostbuster.
Oh yeah, that was the tone that they set for the first two. Is Luigi's just ghost-busting, basically.
So they all go visit this mansion, and it's haunted, obviously, because we're talking about ghosts.
All ghosts.
And all of Luigi's friends, Mario, Peach, Mushroom, or
Toad.
Toadstool, whatever his name is.
No, it's Toad.
Toad. I'm sorry.
Man, you're a bad Nintendo person.
You need to play more on the Switch.
It's been a while.
I don't let her touch my Switch.
Yoshi.
That's mine, dang it. I'm just kidding. She can play it anytime she wants.
She's gonna flip your Switch?
Whoa. No,
That was a great Waluigi.
that was a good Waluigi. She's just going to throw the table, though. So.
She's got that pregnancy strength.
It's pretty crazy, actually. But they all go missing, and Luigi is kind of the star of the video game. So Mario doesn't get all the credit in this one like he always does.
For once.
Yeah.
Well, there were a few that he didn't get credit.
And he's basically trying to go around this mansion to find his friends, and there's a lot of, looks like puzzles that you have to solve. You have to go through different
puzzle
rooms.
game.
Yep.
So I love puzzle games. Those are my favorite.
And you didn't play any of the original ones, right, Amanda?
I didn't.
But you did, Dennis?
I only played the second one where it's got multiple mansions.
That's the moon.
Yeah, Dark Moon.
Multiple
Dark
mansions.
Moon, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Dark of the Moon, I think, was what it was called. It was on the 3DS, and it might have been re-released on the Switch. I'm not sure.
And is it very similar to what we're seeing on E3, where it's...
Oh yeah, I mean you're going around. He's got basically a vacuum strapped to his back, and you suck up the ghosts. And there's also several hidden ghosts within that mansion. So as you're going through, you're collecting them, and they provide what you need to power up your vacuum and your flashlight and all this other stuff. You use a flashlight to stun them, and then you suck them up.
It looks like there's some levels where he's multiplied. There's like...
Wasn't that Gooigi or something?
Oh, there's a Gooigi, and then there's one where he's like cloned, and there's a few different...
So it looks like they've expanded upon the powers that he's got.
Yeah. But the Gooigi can't go in water.
I mean, it looks like a giant snot ball.
He does.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy. But he's got it. It looks really good, and I would like to play. I want to play the other two. I haven't played video games. It's really sad. I haven't played them in a long time.
Life gets busy.
It does. It really does. That's one thing I like about the Switch is that when everyone else is watching something on TV,
Grab and go.
Yep.
I think what I need to do is just buy myself games and just use James's Switch.
I mean, that's fine. You can do that.
I need to do that.
You've got permission now.
Woohoo!
So
I'll play it while you're in the comic book store buying board games, and I'm in the hot car.
Yeah, you can bring the Switch with you.
that's not a bad
Just
idea.
kidding. We really have the air conditioner on, guys.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that.
So people are just going to knock on the window. Are you okay, ma'am? Shut up. I'm trying to catch this ghost.
Catching ghosts, dang it! Leave me alone!
Gosh, you're spoiling my life.
So the next game that I saw at E3 that I was beyond excited about, and I actually sent the trailer to both of you.
Yes.
Because I was squealing like a little girl running around excited because I want to play this game, is called Greedfall. It's
That's
being
pretty.
developed by Spiders is the name of the company. I'm not familiar with them.
Off the
Doesn't
top of my
sound-
head, no.
Doesn't sound familiar.
It might be a newer publisher too.
11 years they've been in the industry. They've done... I know none of these.
Rattle off a couple on there.
Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper.
Yes, I have seen that one.
That was their first. And then Fairy Legends of
sounds familiar.
Avalon, Grey Matter, Of Orcs and Men, Mars Warlogs, and Bound by Flame.
A few of these are action titles. The Sherlock Holmes one, I believe, is another puzzle one. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry, it's just been a while since I played that one. But
fair.
Greedfall, there's a new one.
Yeah, and so basically in Greedfall, it's 17th century style fantasy. So you got your tall ships, and basically the plot is an island has been discovered that has multiple different people different nations trying to gain a foothold in this island, and there's also native people, and the native people have magic and they're in tune with the nature of the island and things like that.
Do they have a flag?
The nature people?
Yes.
I don't know.
No flag, no country.
I was gonna say I don't remember one from the trailer, but maybe.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
To be fair, we only watched the trailer.
Yeah, but
Well, yeah, we couldn't play because we weren't at E3.
this game looks beautiful. Like everything about it is just
The graphics,
Great.
Tonally, it almost reminds me of Turok.
sure. Yeah, Turok
With some of
and
the
Assassin's
monsters.
Creed kind of slammed together
Yeah.
is the artistic feeling that I
Yes.
get. And I'm just really excited and I want this game.
I know, it
It's
looks so cool.
Funny watching the trailers for some of these games. You're watching them and you're like, I wish this was really a movie. It looks so cool.
What's funny is occasionally on YouTube you can find someone who's taken all the cutscenes from a game and spliced them together into a movie. You do lose a little bit of the context because you're not playing the game, depending on the type of game. Like Mortal Kombat, you can watch the cinematics because Mortal Kombat 9 was so ungodly hard when you had to fight Shao Kahn with just Liu Kang, and Liu Kang sucked out loud in that game.
I think this is a little angry.
I was rocking Freddy Krueger in that one. That was back. I mean, NetherRealms could make some kind of like slasher flick fighting game. Have like all those guys. That'd be
Freddy
awesome.
versus Jason.
Oh, they could. They got both of
They
those
should
guys
do it.
in separate games, but still, their Spawn's coming to the next Mortal Kombat.
Ooh, Spawn's good too.
Yes.
So,
Sorry.
what else do we got here? We got
That's a long edit.
That was a really long edit. Sorry, guys. There is new Zelda. Manna, do you want to tell us about the new Zelda? I didn't actually watch the whole trailer.
Did you get to watch the trailer, Dennis?
I've watched. Well, depends on which one because there's 2 Zeldas coming out.
It was the
sequel to
Oh,
Breath of the
gosh.
Wild?
Breath of the Wild
Oh,
one.
it looks absolutely stunning.
It kind of had a Black Cauldron-y feel to it a little bit.
Oh yeah, with the what the heck was it?
It-
Looked like a little zombie or corpse or something. It was like the ones that gave you the powers in the first Breath of the Wild. I can't remember the sages,
Yeah.
but they were like mummified monks or something.
Yeah.
And I'm used to like N64 Zelda and before
Hey, that was one of the greatest ones.
This one almost seems like it's really dark. It's-
Tonally, it's very similar to like Majora's Mask, with it being darker than the previous one.
Oh.
What I would really like to see if they could do it is maybe make it the option for co-op where you could play as Zelda
Oh, that would be
in
really
addition
cool.
to playing as Link.
Because
That'd
she
be
looks
cool,
like
yeah.
a big part of that game too.
Well, you could actually unlock her personality in Breath of the Wild because she was kind of bland in a lot of the previous games.
I mean, a lot of people thought Link was Zelda in the beginning. I remember.
That's the meme. That's the joke.
Oh yeah, poor Link.
Guys, I'm gonna ruin something here for you.
Okay.
I didn't like Breath of the Wild.
Oh, you did it?
I mean, it's okay. It was kind of boring to me. I got about, I don't know, I actually didn't get that far. I got off of the plateau and
That's
down,
where I'm at right now.
and I dinked around for a while in the main area, and I went, yeah, I don't care.
Because I've got gamer ADD with too many games and not enough time in the day.
Life.
I started off with Breath of the Wild. I've jumped around between like Hyrule Legends, which is basically like Dynasty Warriors, where you've got just swarms of armies that you're cutting through with Zelda characters.
Yep.
And then also playing Smash Brothers. I know James doesn't care for that one, but
it's not that it's a bad game. I just can't tell what the heck is going on most of the time. If it was on a big screen and your character was a little bigger, I might be more okay with it.
I can understand that. I've had that issue as well, even playing it in handheld mode versus on the screen.
I'm just an old person.
They did announce at E3 that Banjo-Kazooie
I saw
are
that.
going to be downloadable.
That was exciting
the
for
extra
me.
fighters on there.
Because I like Banjo-Kazooie. I love the Banjo-Kazooie games.
Oh, it was such great stuff.
James and I had some good times playing Banjo-Kazooie.
And like Conker's Bad Fur Day.
I'm hoping for that to come back.
Oh gosh, such a good game.
Yeah, I mean, you probably can't get away with a lot of those jokes nowadays.
Some of those are a bit
racy. Yeah. And well, there was the other Zelda game that they had announced, and that's, I don't know, I guess it's like a remastered version of Link's Awakening.
That's what I thought it was, right? That's because I was kind of confused at first. I'm like, what is this?
Well, Link's Awakening was originally on the way back, the original Game Boy. And Link gets marooned on this island. It's the same deal as all the other Zelda games. You have to go around and collect different weapons and stuff like that from dungeons. You're collecting instruments as you go through the dungeons, and it's all to awaken the windfish, which can get him off the island and back to Hyrule.
Yep.
Keep going.
Oh, it had the top-down look and everything, and
I remember that one I did play quite a bit, the original, because my brother had it.
I loved that one. That was great. That
one was
had
pretty good.
The Pegasus boots and the feather where you can jump like Mario.
Yep.
Really intriguing boss fights too.
Wasn't that kind of similar to the one that was on the DS where he was marooned?
Yeah, they've redone it several times.
Okay.
They did put it on the DS to where it's all colored. So with an additional dungeon where you can
some
get
of us
like
are old people and played it on the original.
Non-backlit where you can't see a damn thing.
No, I
go
played
in the
it
sun,
on
you're
that
like,
too.
what is this?
I played it on the original. I played it on N64. I played it on DS.
Yeah, I mean...
That was the newest.
Well, for the most part, Zelda's got pretty solid games. I mean, Spirit Tracks may not have been one of them, but everyone hated Wind Waker at first, and then it kind of grew on them, because everyone was like, well, this is weird, because it had Toon Link, who made his way into Smash Brothers. Yeah, because you've got regular Link, Young Link, and Toon Link.
Like, is that
Toon
really...
That's seriously what they call him.
I thought you said Tomb, and I was like thinking of really, really old.
No, like cartoony.
Gotcha.
All right, we're gonna move on to the Marvel game.
Now, originally when Squeenix talked about doing a Marvel game and Avengers, everyone was excited because Squeenix is pretty good with their games when they have their heads on straight. This was not one of the times.
Let's say the story.
Story-wise, I give that to Squeenix. They're really good with story.
It's basically they're being framed. Something happened to make them look bad, like they are bad guys, right?
They do look bad.
I was gonna make that joke, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep it serious for a minute. They look like cardboard box.
They look horrible. I'm so sorry, you guys.
The greatest meme that came out after that was the scene from Spaceballs where the Spaceball was like, "You idiots! You captured their stunt doubles," and gave them all the wrong names, like Tony Stonk or.
What did James say about Captain America?
What did I say?
He looks like an old jock wannabe.
Oh yeah, he looks like a jock that like is in the trailer park now and got the big beer gut.
He does not have like a fit body or He doesn't have the the butt of America like in.
He doesn't have the American butt anymore. It's gone.
Eroded by time.
I was gonna say he's got that deep South butt.
I mean, maybe this story setting is like in the way distant future. It's the older Avengers.
It doesn't have Fat Thor, so.
Thor got
I would have been okay with Fat Thor. They weren't supposed to make everyone fat, though.
It looked so bad. Look, there's another Marvel game coming out this year in July called Ultimate Alliance 3, and it at least sticks with kind of comic booky graphics.
That
So,
would be cool.
That I know that Squeenix was trying to go for something that looks realistic, but
Mhm.
I mean they
It
kind of
did
missed
not
the
look.
mark.
Yeah, you guys missed the mark there.
I hold out hope that it'll be decent, but this is not going to be a first run buy for me.
Yeah, no, not even a chance.
Yeah.
Now, if they made that story into a movie, which isn't going to happen, but
Yeah,
I would probably
I'm
watch
pretty
that
sure
movie.
they're gone. All gone.
Don't spoil it. Just kidding.
Oh,
Well, in
if
the
you
trailer-
haven't seen In-Game by now, shame on you. Shame on you.
That's your fault. But
What?
I mean, they.
You've
Well-
had 8 weeks.
To be
9 weeks. as of
Marvel
this.
has
Oh, yeah.
said they're not making the original cast anymore.
I think everybody
Here-
knew that.
Well, yeah, they're going to move forward with Captain Marvel as the face, which is wrong. You stick with Spider-Man, who is in the top 3
Yeah.
most iconic characters
Right.
behind Batman
Spider-Man's
and
a
Superman.
solid choice there, not
and they teased
Captain Marvel.
And the thing is, they teased the idea of a multiverse in the trailers for the next Spider-Man movie. This is not spoilers, by the way. This is in the trailer that they said. And so with the teasing of a multiverse, you can bring back characters that have died, just alternate reality versions. So there is the possibility.
Like Into the Spider-Verse,
Yeah.
where they had Fat Spider-Man and
Yeah.
Spider-Pig.
Best Spider-Man.
That was
movie.
depressed Spider-Man was what it was.
I
I
don't-
love that one.
I don't know how true this is, but I know we're going off a little bit. But
So, like every episode.
Thor is. I heard that Thor is possibly going to be in the new Guardians of the Galaxy,
Nothing would make me happier.
and I don't know if it would be Fat Thor
It
or.
better be Fat Thor.
The dynamics between him and the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy
Is
work
so
really
great.
well. Especially him, like Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pratt, because they're both named Chris. I
Mhm.
think that's why they get
I
along
need
so
them
well.
together.
Yeah. They could do a
Holding
buddy
hands.
cop movie.
Oh, can we get a buddy cop movie?
That
Yes.
would be good.
Oh, that'd be so good.
There was 3 Chris's in that: Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, and Chris
We
Not
don't.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans.
Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pratt, Evans,
Evans.
Hemsworth.
They
Yeah.
just needed Chris Pine.
God, I miss Chris Pine. Come back to us, Chris Pine.
Who would Chris
Um,
Pine be?
You don't know
Whoever
who-
he wants to be.
Oh, okay.
No, he was
He
saying
is in a
who-
DC movie. I know that doesn't work.
Which one?
He was the guy from Wonder Woman.
Oh,
the
yeah.
love interest. That's
The
right.
love interest.
He was the eye candy.
He was my eye candy. Grrr.
Unpopular opinion: Wonder Woman way better than Captain Marvel.
Oh
easily.
no, I agree,
Head
100%.
and shoulders above. That's how you do a female-led
Yeah.
a superhero
It was a
movie.
great movie.
'Cause she was just.
She had
amazing.
emotions, which was something Captain Marvel didn't have.
It's hard to do that. When
She had a
you're-
cat though.
She did have a cat. Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy VII Remaster. Let's talk about them for a minute.
You know, and of course, because I think it was last episode I talked about how Squeenix seems to hate Final Fantasy VIII. And, of course, I railed on the junction system and the draw system and everything. And lo and behold, at E3, we're bringing it back! Surprise! Yeah, remastered. So, I mean, the graphics don't look all clunky and boxy. They look like something, I'd say, late PS2, early PS3 era graphics. Would that be fair?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Around there.
I don't think they've touched the story or added anything else beyond a fresh coat of paint on this.
Yeah, and left
Yeah.
the system the same, so you can be angry about
So
it.
again, I can curse and scream at the screen as I'm, spending 50% of the game drawing magic out of enemies. Hey, the one thing that I did like in that game was that the enemies leveled up with you, so at least you could have somewhat of a challenge. I was one of those jerks that purposely went and leveled everyone up to 100 so that I could have a challenge. Yeah.
But the
Also-
good news is
Yes.
that Final Fantasy VII is being remastered.
And for many people, this was what got them into Final Fantasy way back on the PS1.
I mean, I played it before that, but yes.
Yeah. But, well, I know. Like, 6 is still one of my favorites, even though that's not, like...
I started with
Yeah.
1 and then 3.
Which was Cecil in The Dark Knight?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
that-
ever wonder
that
if kids
was
nowadays
4.
want to go back and play the beginning ones?
Retro gaming seems to be making a big comeback, honestly, with like
Some people
some
are
of the
into it,
graphics.
yeah.
I mean, the graphic style and some of like those old platformers and things.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to tell you, I went back and I played Excite Bike on the Switch. Still just as good as I remember. But then I played... What did I play?
Tecmo Bowl.
I did play that, but no.
It's
it was
the
one of the
80s
other ones.
version too.
It was one of the other ones I played, and I was like, God, this is awful.
Oh, was it that Impossible Ninja Turtles one?
No, but I love that game. It's so hard.
Oh, I can make
That
it
was the
past
one where you go to the arcade with like $45, hoping you might make it through.
No, I'm talking about the one that was made specifically for the Nintendo, where most people could not make it past the dam level, where you have to go underwater and you're doing the
Oh,
balls.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was so hard.
The Ninja Turtle one?
Yes, it was
Okay,
so
played that.
hard. And then, like, in the city, there's no clear-cut path as to where you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
And most of your turtles are half dead because you were playing the dam level and you kept going into the coral
Yep.
in New York.
Eh.
I just want to point that out real quick. That just
Coral
made
in
no
New
sense.
York?
Yeah. Yeah,
I-
it made no sense.
I think there is some. Not a lot.
But it's not all electric-y, at least,
No.
as far as we know. Okay.
But Final Fantasy VII
Oh, it looks
looks good.
beautiful.
It's pretty.
I mean,
all
it
I
looks
can
like
say.
real people. They look like real people, not.
Are you real people?
Yeah. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? I'm a sandwich.
I'm from the beach.
Nom nom nom.
Nom, nom, nom.
But from what I understand with this one is that they've broken Final Fantasy VII into parts. So it's going to be multiple games, not just one complete remaster.
Okay, so it's been a while. I'm going to interrupt you for a second. It's been a while. I'm going way back into the recesses of my brain. I thought that didn't they split it originally into 2 parts? There was like a phase 1 and a phase 2, and they had them on different discs back then.
Back then, it was because they just kept running out of data.
Yeah, it
Because
was
of
file
limita-
size.
It was the limitations of the discs at the time.
Yeah.
This is purposely, we're doing part 1, probably part 7, which we'll get in 2073, unfortunately. Yeah, it's just because it looks like this first game is going to take place exclusively in Midgar, which
Okay, yep.
was very, very small in scale compared to the outside world in the original.
Yep.
But, I mean, it looks like a thriving city. There's more than just like 1 or 2 people hanging out on the streets. It
So-
looks like a thriving, living, breathing metropolis.
So not only is the story the same, though, but they're adding a bunch of stuff in. Is that what you're saying?
It looks like they're expanding upon the story.
They're developing it out, so there's more things to do
Yeah.
while still following the same storyline.
Yeah, because it looks like they're fleshing out the characters a bit
Sure.
more. So Barrett, you've got a little
Mhm.
bit more detail into his past. The same thing with Tifa and Cloud and
Yep.
Aerith. Is it
The word-
Aerith?
I don't know.
I don't know if they're going with Aerith or Aerith because it was so weird.
I never knew. I always change their names.
Gonna die. Did you change her name? I'm gonna die. Nice to meet you.
I'm gonna die. No, I did the more juvenile, poop and fart jokes. Because I was like 13. That amused me much more.
If you guys get a chance to look up Team 4-Star on YouTube and watch their Final Fantasy VII Machine Abridged series,
Oh no.
you get the basic storyline of the first disc right now, and it's totally comedic and everything. Like Cloud is kind of whiny, Tifa's a lying witch. Barrett and Red 13 are like BFFs. I mean, it's hilarious.
That's
They do
funny.
such a great job.
So moving on.
But the release
Oh,
date
go
for
ahead,
that,
sorry. Go ahead.
March 3rd of 2020. So it's coming out soon. Not soon enough. It's like, take my money already, damn it.
Yep. I'll probably be getting that one.
Oh, yeah.
Next, let's talk about Dark Crystal, the game.
You guys are going to have to field this one.
Yep.
Oh.
Amanda, tell me about it.
Deer in the headlights.
Well, from what I watched, it's the same thing as what they're putting onto their series. So the story is similar. It's the prequel. And
For the game, yeah.
for the game. And I have to say, it's kind of funny because when they were showing the little witch goat lady, I know I'm really bad.
It's been so long I couldn't
I
tell you
was
names.
thinking, oh my gosh, these graphics look amazing. And then they showed the actual graphics, and I was like, okay, it looks okay.
Well, as an interjection, it's because it's based on the Final Fantasy Tactics engine.
I wasn't knocking the graphics.
Why are you knocking the graphics?
I thought that it looked...
Rude.
I don't know like how they did that in the beginning.
Well,
of the trailer.
it's either
It just
Final
looked
Fantasy
cool.
Tactics or Tactics Ogre, because those two... Well, Tactics Ogre, I think
believe
is
they
the
said it was
older-
based on Final Fantasy Tactics.
But
Okay.
yeah, it looks...
Yeah, I mean, it very
like
much
that.
looks like Disgaea or games of that nature.
Oh, you're moving your characters around,
Mhm.
and like height and distance
Yep.
actually play a factor.
Yep.
Okay.
But it looks pretty fun if you're... And it looks like if you're into the show, you're gonna... Or the movie. It's kind of weird that the next one's gonna be a series to me.
Do you know when that comes out?
The series or the game?
Yes.
Both?
No, the game. The series is like next month, I think.
It's on Netflix?
Yeah.
It just says later this year.
So they're going to be purposely vague. Expect it probably around Christmas time.
that would
Christmas
probably-
or late summer.
Yeah.
That would
Let's
be
just
my
say
guess.
Black Friday.
Okay. Summer is such a hard time for video games.
It really
because
is.
Nothing gets released,
No.
really.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, this just keeps getting better and better with the trailers that I see, and they gave the Jedi back their stones, quite honestly, because it's not just like all pacifisty and everything like that. They're actually just kicking butt and taking name.
And this is CD Projekt Red that's doing this,
I
correct?
believe so.
Which is the ones that did The Witcher, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah, no, it looks good. It looks very reminiscent of the... Help me out here.
Was it Knights of the Old Republic?
Thank you. KOTOR.
KOTOR. Such a great game.
They
They could remaster that one and just like.
But they really could just do that and it'd be like, here, we put modern graphics on it, we cleaned up the gameplay just a little bit, and here you go, and I'm pretty sure they would make their money back quite quickly.
Oh yeah, first week.
Easily.
It's such a beloved game.
Yeah. No, that was one of the few games... Like, one of the things I'll say about me in video games is very rarely do I make it all the way through.
Yeah.
There are certain games that I've played all the way through. There's a lot of games that I haven't. I finished that one.
Nice.
So...
Just get stuck a lot.
Yeah, and that's part of it. Like, I'll get stuck at a certain point, and then I'm just like, I don't care anymore, and I move on.
Like in, what was that one called?
Kingdom Hearts.
No. Oh, yeah, we got stuck real bad in Kingdom Hearts
Alice.
with the cars.
Madness Returns.
Yep.
Oh.
I love that game, but I got stuck hardcore.
Supposedly they were going to turn the American McGee version of Alice into some kind of movie or series or something.
I'd be okay with that.
I would watch it.
I don't know who do you want to direct that?
Tim Burton. No, just kidding.
Get Tim Burton away from certain
Tim
IPs,
Burton.
I mean, he
Dude.
already did the Alice through the
though.
Looking
I
Glass
would
and stuff,
I would
but-
offer up Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
He can do
maybe.
great monster designs.
Eli
Yeah.
Roth.
Eli Roth would be good.
Hmm.
Maybe them together. Have
Ooh.
Guillermo do the
Character
monsters
designs.
and character design, and have Eli
The
direct.
direction. That would be great.
Ooh.
Look, I think we're all in agreement when Uwe Boll stay the
Well,
Yeah.
heck away from
yeah,
this.
that's just generally
Oh, I almost
accepted.
cursed. God, it irritates me so much. We're running a little long today, folks.
Well,
as you probably have noticed.
We only have one E3 game left that we were going to talk about.
We left the best for last.
We did.
We did. This is more proof that the man Keanu Reeves is just wholesome and awesome. So the game that CD help me out here, Project Red, CD Red. I'm totally butchering their names. It's the company that does the new game Cyberpunk 2077.
It's CD Projekt Red.
Thank you. I don't know why that was not clicking.
James was just gonna let you hang there for a minute, wasn't he?
No, I was
He was
looking
looking
it up. I'm
But-
only so fast.
But with this particular reveal, I mean, Cyberpunk 2077 is one that a lot of people have been looking forward to. It looks like an action-oriented game where your guy has been, he's gotten into some deep trouble.
He basically was in a heist gone wrong and got kind of beat up because of the gone wrong part and left
Yep.
for dead.
Left for dead in this junk pile, and the trailer shows him waking up. Someone's there kind of kicking him a little bit.
Yelling at him. Get up.
Camera pans up, and who is it? It's Keanu Reeves.
The man himself.
Well, and they did such a great job. It looks exactly like him, just slightly shinier.
Yeah.
That's about it. I mean, they did such a fantastic job with this, but when they did the reveal at E3, they had Keanu Reeves come out, and he's talking with people, and he's chatting with the fans, and he points to one fan. It's like, "You're breathtaking," because they complimented him. And this particular person, CD
Projekt Red.
Thank you. CD Projekt Red actually met with them on Twitter and said, "You know what? We're going to give you a copy of the game, the collector's edition, because you're just that awesome, and check your direct messaging." And the guy said, "That's really cool, but could you donate a go-kart to a charity?" And it's a local charity that through gaming and everything that helps sick kids. And it was something that this guy's sister had been afflicted, and I forget if she died or not, but it's a charity that holds a special place in this guy's heart. And so CD Projekt Red, did I get it right?
You got it right, though.
Okay. So CD Projekt Red said, "Okay, we've got no problems with that. That's very cool." So in addition to this guy getting a copy of the game for free and everything, they're donating something to a charity.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, it's just, there's so much awesome, wholesome goodness
And
tied in with this.
Thing.
And we can all thank Keanu Reeves. Because, I mean, Keanu Reeves is just like this super nice guy that no one really thinks about because, well, he has the appropriate response when someone kills your dog. Let's face it. That's the best part about John
I would
Wick.
go Keanu Reeves on someone who killed my dog.
When he runs out of bullets and just throws the gun at the guy. It's like, you've pissed someone off. So, but yeah, I mean, that game looks, the graphics-wise, that looks fantastic. That's out April of 2020.
Yep,
April
I'm getting
16th.
that. I'm picking that up immediately.
It's actually, I think it's April 16th, so it's like day after tax day.
Yeah, that's perfect. I'll have it.
It's a very beautiful.
You can use your refund.
If we get
Everybody,
one.
use your refund
We'll have
to
two.
buy this game.
We'll have 2 kids for that one.
Does that mean I can
Woo!
buy multiple copies?
I don't know. We'll see how far along we are in the house.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I got to build that chessboard and rent the
Yeah, we gotta
people.
get the chessboard going.
Yeah. See, you got
Okay.
us in debt
Oh,
already.
Okay, so folks, we're just about out of time, so
Anybody have any final thoughts before we roll on out?
Go check out the E3 trailers if you're interested.
definitely.
These games look really cool. Well,
And-
there might be some stinkers, but what we saw seemed pretty cool, minus the
Except for the
Avengers.
Avengers.
Except for the yeah, that was
Yeah.
bad. And
And right now, everyone, you hear this? This is proof that I actually drink water because everyone gives me grief about drinking soda.
It's
See,
really vodka.
that's vodka.
you don't know that.
And go get yourself some Wacky Races because it's a great game.
It is a great game.
and I like it, and I want
quick
you to
play.
buy it, and I want them to release all of the Hanna-Barbera characters.
Great for all ages, so play it with your mom. Go get it and play it with your dad for Father's
Father's Day.
Father's Day's tomorrow as of this recording.
So we might be a little late in getting the information to them.
So go back and play.
Say Happy Father's Day,
Go back in
Dad.
time.
Yes.
So you've been listening to Rulebooks Anonymous. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can find the podcast
And
on
Instagram.
iTunes. Oh, and Instagram. And
Minds.com.
minds.com. Check it out. You can find the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Spreaker. And we will see you all next time here on Rulebooks Anonymous, where we sponsor your addiction.
Farewell.
Bye-bye.
You have been listening to Rulebooks Anonymous. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can find the podcast on iTunes, Google Podcasts, and Spreaker.